Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Farthest Frontier. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. Now, I've been playing a little bit on my single player, and I was getting into some really bad food problems. I think I had 12 farms. I was trying building some more, and then I was like, I got to be doing something wrong because I had diseases all over the place. So what I wanted to do here in this episode is focus mostly on farm stuff. We're doing okay with our food right now. We have 4 months stored up. 2 months worth of spoilage happening, and we're just getting into winter, so it's really good timing. I had to do a little bit of research. I watched a couple of videos, and we're going to go into a little bit more crop rotation here. We have 3 farms ready to go. It's really great timing, so this is what we're going to get into. So there's a couple things that we need to consider here. We want to have flax, and we want to have wheat. Flax for clothing, wheat for bread. Now, in this playthrough, we're not quite to that point for bread anyways. We can build that stuff, so it won't hurt to have this, and maybe we'll even get into it a little bit early. It could be pretty good. But anyway, so onto the farm. So there's a method that I learned from somebody, and their name was Taka. I'll link the video I watched in the description, so if something is unclear, maybe they can explain it to you better than I can. But anyways, this is what we're going to get into here. So if we go to our farms, they described to me the ABC, CAB, BCA method. So now, if we open up our crop field here, so if we have 1, 2, 3 here, so imagine this is A, B, and C. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to slow the game down. We're going to pause it, and we have to clear everything we already have set up. So we got to do this the correct way. Well, one thing that I realized is we aren't going to be able to utilize the soil mixture as well as we were if we're only doing the one crop in here. But I think the fertility and the maintenance on the field is going to more than make up for that. And so I'm going to kind of ignore that for the most part for some things. But we will tweak it ever so slightly. So what we're going to do is the top left is going to be number 1. And then we'll go 2 and then 3, or A, B, C. And then the first line we're going to do, we have turnips. So we're going to go turnips because they're frost tolerant. So we're going to plop that there. And then we're going to go clover. Clovers are, of course, really good for the fertility of the field. You can see there impacts fertility +5. And then finally, we're going to do a maintenance. And then the second row here, we're going to go peas, which is this guy. They're really quick. They're frost tolerant, so that's why we're going to put them here. And then again, clover, and then maintenance for the same reasons. And then finally, we are going to go with clover first, and then wheat. Now, the reason we're going to go clover first is because wheat isn't as frost tolerant as clover. So that's why wheat is going to be a little bit later in the season here. So that's what we got. That's the plan. So we're going to take this, and it's called crop rotation, right? So we're going to move line 1 to line 3. Line 3 to line 1, and line 2 to 3. So that's the CAB part of it. So here we're going to go into the second farm here, right here. The B farm is going to have peas first. So I'm going to go pea, and then clover, and then maintenance. And then we are going to go clover, wheat, and then we are going to go turnips, clover, maintenance. All right, see what I'm saying here? So we have, look at our first farm again. So turnips is in the first line. Turnips is in the third line. In this farm, turnips is going to be in the second line. So we're going to go ahead and go down to this and set up the last one here. We're going to start with clover, and we're going to start with wheat. And then we are going to go ahead and go turnips, clover, maintenance. And then finally, peas, clover, maintenance. Okay. So we don't have any flax in here just yet. So what I'm going to do is once this farm is done, we are going to put in a little field here for that stuff. So when there's 3 fields, I really wish the crop rotation was 4 because just for this sake, 2x2 sake. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to put our flax first and then clover. Peas, clover, maintenance, and then clover, flax. And that's what we'll do for our 4th farm here. So it doesn't follow the rotation pattern as well as the other 3 just because there's no line for it. So it's wintertime, like we mentioned. So nothing's really going to happen on our fields for a little bit now, but that's just fine. So we'll just wait a little bit here, and then we'll see what happens in the next coming years. So we're doing okay right now for our food situation. We have 3 months stored up. It wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more. We'll work on that, and hopefully this crop rotation is going to do a couple of things. It's going to prevent our diseases from happening. It's going to also keep our fertility up because we're doing so much clover action. So I think it'll be really, really great. And I'm hoping that it works out how I think it will. I did do it on my single player for about 2 years, and I went from having 0 stored food, and then, well, since I didn't have any food, I didn't have any spoilage because there was no food to spoil, all the way up to 4 months after just like a year and a half, 2 years. It was really good. So I'm hoping that this works out for us pretty quickly here. Okay, so we're getting a couple issues here. Now I'm seeing the firewood's low, planks are pretty low, and that means we're going to need some more logs. So let's go ahead and find a couple of our work camps here. That'll be under resources, and then work camp. Let's go ahead and find a good spot to put this, and then we will target, of course, our work area. So we have one right here. I want to be able to find some stone. That's another issue that I've been noticing is kind of tricksy sometimes, is finding some stone. So here's a group. Looks like we have this marked out nice. Got a couple of logs over here. I think I'm going to place something up here and gather up some of these trees. There looks like a good bundle of them up there. So let's go ahead and plop this guy down. This will work just fine right there. And we'll get that started up. And then we needed another firewood guy. So let's go ahead and get our firewood splitter right there. And then we're going to go ahead and run it over here. And let's rotate this guy around. And we'll kind of bring... Oh, we have this road here. Let's go... Yeah, let's go right there. And we might as well kind of just bring this road in like there. We can adjust it later if we decide that we need to. And we do have a fertility poop thing ready, so we're going to go ahead and get that set up on one of our lowest ones. So it looks like we had 66. We'll throw it on there, and that'll help that out. So yeah, so this has 400 work hours, labor hours, whatever left on it. So that'll get done soon here. And we can get that other field set up, and that'll be really wonderful. Okay, and then we need to also think about some defense stuff, because again, in my single playthrough, I'm getting hit pretty hard by like 20 plus raiders pretty often. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting that set up here for us. And we want to probably run with the water because you don't have to, they can't go through the water. So if we build our wall, kind of, I guess it's got to be more or less straight, right? So we have to go up from like the corner here and bring it on up. We'll have to do a little jog out this way and then bring it up. And maybe we'll just kind of walk along this space here and we'll cut in and go over this way. We do have this nice arborist field that I don't really want to put a wall through. So maybe we'll go a little bit further up and we'll just kind of bring it on over in the this type direction and this way. The problem with that is we are going to need a ridiculous amount of stone to set that up, but we can continue to work on that with our work camps. But before any of that, our crop field is finally ready. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some flax and with some clover. And what I'm going to do here is, since flax isn't super frost resistant, you can see there the tolerance is only 6 out of 10. I'm going to scoot this guy down and I'm going to scoot this guy down over as well. So this guy is going to get started later in the season, and hopefully then we'll be able to avoid some frost happening to it. All right, and then our second one is going to go for peas, and then we're going to go clover and maintenance, and then we're going to go clover and then flax finally at the end. And again, we don't have to move this guy over any further because this is kind of in the midst of the year there. So I guess we could flop these around, but the fertility here allows for the fertility of the peas, and then this guy, maybe we'll flop that around. Maybe that does make more sense. So we'll mimic what we got up top. Actually, yeah, let's do that. That works better. I like that, because we do this when the year flips over. When this comes down here and this moves up, then we'll have flax, clover, flax, clover. So that's much better, I think, because then we won't overlap at all. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that instead. And again, we scooted it over because of the frost tolerance, and there we go. And since this field is more focused on the flax part of things, we're going to go ahead and tweak our soil mixture for flax. So we're going to go ahead and get till we have that 10%. And just for funsies, let's see where this is. Okay, it doesn't quite overlap. So we're going to just have to leave it where it's at. So nice. So we got all of our farm set up. I really think this will work great for us. We got our flax covered. We got our wheat covered. And then, since we have that stuff done, we should start to put in that bread stuff and things. So let's go ahead and get our windmill started here. This guy doesn't look like it's very desirable. We'll go ahead and accept those 7 people. Let's get this guy built up. Let's go like over here. We kind of have this weird situation where we have some of our industrial things over here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we got our 7 people. So we're getting kind of close to needing some more houses. So let's go ahead and throw some of those in as well. Go ahead housing, and then we'll get like this. And then let's go ahead and we'll plop this guy. Since okay, so we have 3. I'm trying to think of how we can utilize the spaces best as we can. So that's kind of why I'm thinking, like, go like here, and then we can go here, and then maybe if we let's do this. So I want to put a road. I'm thinking about putting a road in here somehow, but I also want to make sure that we have enough room for our gardens, right? So let's consider that here. We do have the space here for gardens. That was our intent, but this spacing is kind of weird. It's 6. So these are 3, and we already have a road. Let's just do this. Let's put this guy, we'll put it in line with this guy right there. We'll leave a room over, and then we'll leave a room over, and then that's going to be tied up over there. And we'll go like that, and we'll see how that works. We have this weird space now in the midst, like I was saying, but I think we could maybe do some gardens in there. I think it would look really cool. What if we did like a road in here, like so, and kind of put gardens on either side of these and kind of filled in betwixt the houses? I think that might look kind of neat. So let's figure that out here. Let's just let that get built up here for a moment. Yeah, and we're really low on planks again. So let's go ahead and find our saw pit. We got 4 people working on the saw pit already. So that means we are going to need to get another one started up, and we can do that no problem. Grab our saw pit. And then we'll go ahead and plop that guy right there. And then if we have our windmill is great and all, but we need to be able to make the grain into bread, right? So let's go ahead and grab our bakery, and that's going to be this guy right here. And we'll get this guy plopped in over here somewhere. Look at that, works fantastic right there. So that's where it's going to go. And this guy's calling for a heavy tool, and we don't have those yet. So the only way we can get that is if we do a little bit of trade action. So the way to trade, we are going to need the trading post, of course, which we have right here, and we're gonna need some gold. So the one thing that I'm thinking about getting gold, how to get gold, is we have a lot of flax, right, that we just planted, we put in here. We got flax on the way. We have some I did see, this is rye. I did this before too. There we go. Now we have wheat in there. Not rye. So we have flax on the way. And we need to make clothing with that flax, right? So I think we may have a clothing person already. That's our basket shop for Willow. Maybe we don't. But anyways, even if we did, we'll make a second one. We'll go ahead and get resources. Let's get our clothing person. Now I gotta find it here. We got tannery, cobble, candle, weaver. There it is. Okay. And then is that what that is? Nope. I thought I saw it light up. Okay. We have this guy. Let's get this thing put in right here as well. And now we have our weaver, so we'll be able to utilize the... Oh, we have one right there. Perfect. I found it. Of course, right as I place it. And then we'll close that out. So we'll be able to utilize a lot of that flax that we're getting. So right now, it's not doing super great. They're idle most of the time, and we didn't make any clothing. So we got to make some clothing. We'll be able to do that with all the flax that we're making. It's going to be great. But we'll get that started up here and on the way. Okay, so pretty good. Hopefully we got our food figured out here for a little while. You can see that we're kind of getting low. We're down to one month available. Let's just check out what our farms are up to here. So this farm is going to take a minute until we get to our wheat. We have to do the maintenance the rest of this year, and then clover at the beginning of the next, and then we'll get into some wheat. This farm is going to be able to produce us turnips pretty quickly next year, and that'll be great. We really need that. And then this farm, that means it'll be peas next. So that's great. We'll have turnips and peas coming in, and that'll be a little bit of boost for our food stores that we need to replenish right now. We can also throw in maybe a couple more fishers or something else like that to kind of supplement it as well. And our forager shack. Oh yeah, these guys were getting our willow. Yeah, lots of willow coming in. We have a couple fishers. We have a shoal right here that it looks like I'm not utilizing, which is kind of silly of me. So let's go ahead and do some food production. Let's get our fisher set up, and we'll put one. I guess we could kind of just buddy up over here. That's kind of where we've been doing that. And we'll get this guy set up right there. And once that's built, we'll just retarget it over here. I guess, why don't I just build it over there? We'll go ahead and get another road started up, and we'll kind of bring it closer like that. And then we'll go ahead and do our food production with our fishing shack. Okay. And then this guy will plop right there, and then we'll just retarget it right there. And then that's fine, just like that. So we were talking about our defenses, right? And I want to wait until we get until tier 3 but to do the stone wall, just because it's the best wall that we can get. But I'd like to do that, and then like we mentioned, we'll go up on the long side here by our farm. And maybe for future, we'll bring our farms down in this direction, and maybe we move our compost yard a little bit so that we can do that. Kind of in a poopy spot next to the trade thing there. See what I did there? Poopy spot, compost yard. Anyways, okay, so we need some more wood. We got our firewood. Looks like okay now, 49. We did put one in, I think. Yeah, we did. Okay, so we got that happening. And that's one more person here. Ratha, that's a cool name. Okay, we have some clay. That's awesome. And we're getting a little bit of gold as well. Okay, that's good. And yeah, so we're doing all right now. Let's just let it go for a minute, and then we'll see what our food looks like here and what else we can do with it. Because we might need to put in a couple more farms and do some more rotation-y things, but that'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and I'll bring it right back. We'll do some clearing out over here, and we'll see what else we can do here for our food situation. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's been quite a while now. We have a whole nother 3 farms built up. They've even started operating. I've been going through, and I'm just kind of repeating that same pattern. We got turnips, clove maintenance, and then we're going into some peas and then wheat, and then we're just doing the crop rotations on each of these other fields. So we're basically duplicating what we have over here. I just haven't put in the flax in this last corner yet. Probably will do that here pretty quick. I was been having a little bit of worker problems, but then we just got a bunch of immigrants, so we're looking pretty good now. We're at 18 laborers, got plenty of builders. I did take 2 people off making planks. We were doing pretty okay with that. 180 is okay, I guess, for now. And then, yeah, as you can see, we got a ton of firewood, 700 plus firewood. We got tons of logs. And I know that I mentioned about building a stone wall just a minute ago, but I was thinking about it, and I figured, having the palisade walls up is better than nothing. So that's what we're going to do. But I've started to put in the wall here. You can see that some of it's built. And I'm going to do it in chunks, because I was playing my single playthrough by myself here, and I built the whole wall, and I feel like there were so many things added to the to-do list that first of all, it's taking forever to get built. And second of all, I feel like some of the other stuff is getting ignored. So I'm just going to put it in segments, so build it that way. And it'll still be awesome, but it's going to take a while to get built up. And I decided to do it over here, come down. We're going to work we got a bunch of land to do for more farms. And then we have tons of wiggle room over on this side of the world if we wanted to keep expanding in this direction. Like, look how far we can go. We got tons of space. So it'll be good. Even if we put a wall up, we can just push it out as we grow. But that'll be great once we get that all set up. Now, as far as our food levels go, you can see there we got 3 months, and that's kind of been where we're sitting at. So not super great. I'm hoping this additional farming action is going to help us out a little bit with that. I've also put in 1 or 2 hunting spots. I'm trying to get these deer that are up over in here. You can see there they are running around. I've also put in a couple more gatherers to do that with Forger Shacks, getting some of the goodies picked up. And then I was realizing that, to get to T3, we need 1,200 gold. And right now we have like 0 trading things. So what I want to be doing now is focusing on a little bit of gathering up some willow, making some baskets. And now that we have some flax happening, getting some clothes. And if we have an excess of clothing, we can go ahead and put it into the trading post here. You can see we only have 9 right now. So we got not a whole lot. And so I haven't been putting them in the trading post to trade. But we have a decent amount of grains, and we have some willow and some tallow. So candles, baskets. Those might be the couple things that we get into here to round out the episode here. And I also want to check out some apiaries, because we need to put some of those in, some more beeswax. We can continue to do some more candle action with that. So let's go ahead here, and we'll find our candle shop. Get one of these guys going up to use up some of that tallow, some of that fat action that we have here from hunting. Let's go ahead and plop this guy in. Oh, that'll work great right there. Okay, we'll have that happening. And then we did have a windmill on the way, but we need the heavy tools. The way to get a heavy tool right now is to trade, and we don't have any gold. So it goes back to we need to have something to trade for these other goods. And we don't really have excess of much of anything. I guess firewood now, but I don't really know if we can trade firewood. I would imagine we probably could, but I think we'll just hold up for now. We'll keep that stockpile. We got timber, iron ore, tallow. I don't see firewood. Maybe I just skipped it. I'm kind of going over this quick. They're just thinking of things that we may be able to trade out. But anyways, yeah, we'll get some baskets put in. We're using the baskets too, so it's kind of going to help us in two ways here. If I can find the dang old basket weaver again. There it is. Looking for some willow. We got some more willow getting gathered up. And here's our first basket shop right here. Let's go ahead and plop this guy. We can go over on this side of the world right here. Great. Okay, that's on the way. I did put a second compost yard down. I saw a couple of pieces of waste sitting around, and I figured maybe they needed some backup. So we got that guy on the way as well. Oh, man, this fence is almost completed over here. This whole wall, a fence. I did extend a fence to keep some more of those deer out of our farms over here. We got that happening. Let's go ahead and put that other farm in. Now that we have so many laborers, we might as well use it up. Our arborist is doing pretty good over here. I was considering maybe putting in another one. I mean, this has 151 fruit in the last year, so that's pretty decent. I thought we could absolutely add a few more things up here into the north as well to get as much out of that as we can. And we got a bear coming in here. It looks like it's trying to mess up this poor guy's day. So we're gonna see if we can get them to safety. As well as get rid of this bear at the same time here. So we'll get this person running in and hopefully get some aggro pulled off here to help keep this guy alive. There we go. Now we're getting rid of that bear. Oh, that was a hunter that was getting attacked originally. All right, so that will scare the bear off at least for now. And then we can carry on. We might actually get the bear. We're really chasing it out of town. There we go. We got it. Nice. Awesome. Okay. I've also noticed that we have a lot of hunters around here. And most of them are saying that there aren't any more critters around, so that's kind of sucky for a hunter, obviously. Like, we need to have the critters. So I've just kind of been stacking them a little bit. Let's see, we've got more 8 deer over here. We'll go ahead and plop that guy over there to hunt for that area. Oh, and I did put a couple more fishies up here. A couple of fishing spots right here and right here. Just different pond. I figured it might be better to get some more fish happening on that. And then we have our iron mine, of course, pulling in a little bit of iron that we have over here. Oh, and this guy is finally completed. Forger shack. There's a bunch of willow over here on the coast, so we're going to grab that, as well as whatever other goodies we can find in the woods over here. So let's see how far we can get. Oh, there, we got eggs right there. Perfect. So go ahead and get that forger shack up and running as well. Anything that we can get for some food is just really needed at this point. We're up to 5 months. That's pretty good. Food stores. I did notice that the overall happiness when you don't have a good amount of food to feed, that happiness really takes a hit. So it's not great. Well, our villagers are very unhappy over the lack of luxury goods. Getting a little bit snooty there, aren't we, little villagers? We do have this candle shop that we just put in here. So we may need to do some pottery as well, and that would help out the luxury goods. We have some clay. We've been working on clay. We finished it. It was somewhere over in here. I deleted the building. And then we got another one built over on this side of the world. We have a couple more spots over here that we can pick up. And I noticed that I did block one of them with some road over here. So before this gets too wild, we might need to readjust this road. And we'll put another clay pit down there and we'll get that picked up. And then once it's all mined out, it doesn't matter anymore anyways. So we got our, let's go ahead and find our potter. I don't know if we have one already. Well, we should be able to check to see if we have a person working on pottery, huh? So we got resources, services, food, military goods. So let's see. We have Cooper Potter, 0. So we do not have one. Or soap workshop? Really? Okay, well, let's get these other things rounded out here. We also want to do the apiary. So I was talking about that. Let's do the apiary first. Of course, the apiaries are bees. And so when we have farms and such like this, the yellow, that's a boon to the apiary. You can see that we got a 74% bonus on that for having all of the farms and stuff right here. So we're going to go ahead and get an apiary right there. And then over here where we have our gardens, you can see that they're also lit up. So I was thinking, pop a couple apiaries down right there, and that'll help that out. And then let's go put one more. Ooh, let's go back over here. That's 63. That's not super great, but it's also not terrible. We'll plop that guy right there. And it will get better once we put a couple more gardens in here. So we're trying to get up to 30 desirability on, 25 buildings to upgrade our guy to T3. We got that. Now we just need 125 people. We're ways out for that. We need some more luxury. It looks like we need some shoes. So So we might need another cobbler. Let's go ahead and just check up here. Do we have a cobbler? We don't have a cobbler. Okay, there's a lot of things missing here that I wasn't aware of. Let's go ahead and get a cobbler happening, make us some shoes. That'll be great to have those guys happening as well. We don't have a whole lot of wax, I don't think, right now, so that's going to take a little bit of time to get the apiaries working, get us some more wax, getting some more candle shops happening. And then tallow, I think I misspoke. I think I said tallow was for candles. That would be for soap. That is animal fat. So we're going to go ahead and find our soap person. And where that guy lives here. Potter building, weaver building, candle shop. Got it. There's our soap shop. Awesome. We'll go ahead and we'll plop this guy right over here. Get some soap happening. Let's go like that. Sure. All right, great. So that takes care of a lot of the luxury things that we were just looking at needing. Soap. We're going to have candles, pottery, lots of good things coming in. We can even trade a little bit of that excess stuff. We got extra shoes we can use. We could trade extra candles, pottery, all that stuff. Oh, and we did get this crop field completed. So let's go ahead and we'll put in our fourth non-rotation bit for our crop field here. So that's going to be flax and clover. And then we're going to go ahead and go peas, clover, and maintenance. And then clover and flax again. So clover and flax. All right, so a couple more extra things to get some more clothing happening. We can trade that out. We get too much of it, which would be great to do. And then we really, really, really need that heavy tool so that we can get some grain and get some breads, a whole nother food source coming in to be great. And I think we'll get into all that other stuff in the next episode here. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Farthest Frontier, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night.